Hey guys, and welcome to my new Sopranos video, which we're gonna call Eastern Parkway, Not the Belt Parkway, The Murder of Rusty Millio. So if you remember in season 5, there is a lengthy power struggle in the New York family in which Johnny Sack is trying to reach the top. Once Johnny Sack becomes the boss, Johnny Sack is still worried that Rusty Millio is gonna find a way to challenge his power again. This leads to a scene at Johnny Sack's daughter's wedding, when Johnny Sack pulls Tony aside and asks him to kill Rusty Millio. Tony at first refuses to do so, but eventually agrees.
He's a cancer. I can't let it spread.
Well, you're gonna have to use one of your own doctors. How's your nerves?
Oh, I'd love to, believe me. But my position is not completely solidified.
I'd also like to add that during this scene, doesn't Johnny Sack look exactly like this picture of former acting Lucchese boss, Stephen Wonderboy Crea? Anyway, just a side note. He further farms the job out to the two Zip hitmen. If we pay attention in the scene, we can see the writers have left two small clues that lead us once again into Mafia history.
What the fuck is this idiot doing?
Scusa, sir, you don't speak English. Come posso arrivare a Brooklyn
Oh,
Museum?
pal, move your car. We're late.
Ma sto vicino a Delta Parkway, mi sa che è sbagliata.
Hurry up, let me see.
Noi stamattina stavamo in coppa a sta grande strada, oi?
Museum.
Eastern Parkway.
Eastern Parkway, not the Belt Parkway.
When the Zip hitmen first come up to the car, a Mercedes-Benz I'd like to add, they ask for directions looking for the Brooklyn Museum. Rusty Millio tells them that they're looking for the Eastern Parkway, not the Belt Parkway.
Museum.
Eastern Parkway.
Eastern Parkway, not the Belt Parkway.
So if we take this reference to the Belt Parkway and the fact that Rusty Millio is driving a Mercedes-Benz when he gets killed, we could dive down into Mafia history. Following the death of Paul Castellano in the mid-80s, John Gotti rose to be the leader of the Gambino family. This did not sit well with some of the other families and family bosses, and so started a lengthy proxy war in which many attempts were made on John Gotti's life, without him really knowing he was being plotted against. One of those incidents was the famous car bombing of Frank the Chico. Gotti obviously knew he was being targeted, but he didn't know that Vincent Gigante and Gaspipe Casso were behind it, although he certainly suspected it. Later, an underling of Gotti made an attempt on Casso's life. Casso discovered the men who were involved in the hit team. He killed them. Back and forth it went, all with the idea of concealing who was really behind these secret attacks. Just in the same way that Johnny Sack doesn't want to kill Rusty Millio with his own men and instead asks Tony to do it, who further farms it out to the Zips. Finally, in one of the last acts of this proxy war between the families, one of Gotti's powerful lieutenants, a man named Eddie Lino, was driving home one night on the Belt Parkway in, you guessed it, his Mercedes-Benz. Lino had been a powerful ally of Gotti, involved in the killing of Paul Castellano, also a major drug dealer and moneymaker within the family. Casso chose to kill Lino as a way in which to weaken Gotti, even if he was not able to kill Gotti himself. So, while Eddie Lino was driving home one night in his Mercedes-Benz on the Belt Parkway, he was pulled over by the corrupt mafia cops Louis Ippolito and Stephen Caracappa, who were in fact controlled by Gaspipe Casso. Under the guise of a routine traffic stop, Lino was shot and killed on a service road on the Belt Parkway and left there to be discovered. I would say that these two details are too specific for the writers not to have considered this when they crafted the scene in which Rusty Millio gets killed. One more tiny Easter egg dropped in this scene is that the character of Rusty Millio's driver is named Eddie Pietro, who appears in a few scenes throughout the 6th season. I'm sure it's no coincidence that they named him Eddie. In addition to that, the overall events that led to the murder of Eddie Lino are very similar to the events that led to the death of Rusty Millio. The idea of secret alliances and in essence a proxy war between the two families and factions within the family, and the secretive and devious way in which both of these inter-family wars were waged. so as suspicion would point away from who had actually ordered the murders.
This is smart, though. The more I think about it.
Where'd you prove?
Anybody taking a look, there's nothing linking us to it.
Hey,
Hey, there he is.